Guys, a lot of respect for the Cardinals. I thought they did some really good things defensively. They kept us a little bit off guard. It's hard for us to be able to get into a rhythm, but I thought the defense kept us in the game, being able to handle the sudden change when we followed the punt return, being able to keep them to a minimum in the red area. I thought they did a really good job. And then I thought at the end of the first half, the big play, Matthew to Cooper, to even just get some positive momentum where you go 9-6. Going in and you know you're going to get the ball coming out. And then I thought our offensive line, I thought Tyler Higbee, I thought Kyron Williams, they did an outstanding job. You know, to be able to rush for 175 yards in the second half when you have 5 going into the first, going in at halftime, didn't have many plays. I thought they did a great job of really being able to control the game. They did an excellent job, Arizona did, of mixing some different personnel groupings, but I was really pleased with our group's effort. I thought Matthew and Cooper had some key and critical plays. The third down touchdown where they connected, that was a great big-time throw and catch by them. I even thought after we took the sack to be able to have 2 completions in a row to Cooper, to be able to get it to a 3rd down and 8, and then what a throw and catch by them on the 3rd and 8 on our near sideline. I thought Matthew was really outstanding. Didn't have as many opportunities, but, man, he settled in and made the big-time throws when he had to. Cooper had, you look at it, and it's like, holy geez, you had 148, huh? So, but Kyron, the offensive line, Tyler Higbee was a big part of that too, with just some of the different things that we were asking of him. And I thought the defense did a great job. Christian Roseboom's turnover when it's still a 1-possession game, God, that was a big play. And those are the types of things that we want to be able to see. We make it more interesting than sometimes it needs to be, but love this group, and I love the resolve that they showed and the way that they were able to finish the game and kind of, handle it, especially in the 3rd and 4th quarters.
So in the third quarter, you guys came out and you sort of forced the issue with the run game, the consecutive runs. When you went in there at halftime, what was the conversation like with your players amongst the line?
What would you guess?
As colorfully as possible.
Yeah, no, it was that, and it was really we got talked out of some things that we didn't necessarily need to, and wanted to be able to let them set their pads and be able to go downhill, and thought it was a great mixture of things that they were able to allow us to get off. And you have some explosive runs when you're able to have 10 and 17 and then a 30-yard hit. Those are big time deals, and it was awesome. But they were able, their execution is what enabled us to be able to do that. Really proud of those guys.
Hey, Coach Kyron Williams, big time second half. Just what's your thoughts on his performance?
He was awesome. I was really proud of Kyron, and I think he's going to be good. Just got his ankle tweaked at the end, but he was running like an absolute man on a mission today. I thought he saw the holes great. I thought we were able to create great removal at the point of attack, and he was able to press it the right way and be able to level off. And then he ran through some arm tackles to create big-time explosives. The one on the far sideline in the 4th quarter was a big-time run where he ended up getting it down inside the tight red area. He had one on our near sideline in the 3rd quarter. So, he was the star in the second half. I think he ended up with just under $160 and pretty much all of those, as we just said. You got 5 yards rushing at half. You end up with 179. Last time I checked, that's a pretty good second half.
Coach, you talk about Cooper Kupp
in your offensive line that maybe you have not seen up to this point.
I saw a rhythm. I thought I saw an opportunity to be able to get into a rhythm, get consecutive plays off where they were able to really assert themselves. And I thought that was key and critical. And there's been moments throughout the first 5 games that I think that's been illustrated, but not maybe quite to the level that we saw today. And everything is able to come off of that, and that was a big deal. But this was a great team win. I thought Austin Trammell's punt return early on in the game was a big-time deal. I have trust in him to be able to have better ball security when he gets his opportunities moving forward. But the one that he did have, where he catches it deep, ends up being able to get a really good positive return. That was a good thing. And thought Brett Maher and the field goal and the extra point operation today was excellent.
Coach, you talked about Cooper Kupp.
He's going to be good.
Talk about Cooper Kupp as far as him getting his very first touchdown for the season, but did he look like the Cooper Kupp that you were accustomed to seeing in this second game?
He did, and he looked like the Cooper Kupp we're accustomed to seeing last week. There was just the flow of the game was just a little bit different. You credit Philadelphia for last week, but I thought he made some big time plays, Nick. You look at it at the end of the first half, that long connection that he and Matthew had. I don't know how much it was for. It was probably just under 50. The touchdown on the 3rd down in the red area in the 3rd quarter was huge. Matthew's getting rushed. Throws a speed out. They kind of played like a bump bail technique with 13 in the near boundary, and it was a great just throw and catch where you see those two's rapport, looking like they're kind of mid-season form, if you will. And then the 3rd and 8 play I thought was huge. That was another. You talk about tight window throws and good trust in one another. So Cooper was outstanding today. Had a couple things early on in the game, and then once he settled in, he was a huge factor for us, and Matthew as well.
Coach, when you look at
when you're going into halftime,
Are you aware how many runs you called in the first half?
Yeah, we didn't have many plays at all. Some of the looks we got talked out of that we didn't want to. I knew we had, 3 runs in the first half. So, yes, I was aware of that.
Coach, when you look at the toughness of Puka Nacua and Ben Skoranek was like nose deep in the middle of the scrum, how do they exemplify the culture that you've built?
The toughness, the selflessness. I think you're looking at guys playing the receiver position, all the different things that we ask of them. I'm glad you brought up Puka too, because some of the things that we were doing with him, based on their personnel groupings and their matches, you can't do that unless you have a player like Puka Nacua. And so he was a huge factor, basically an extension of the line and the tight ends. And the run game, we talk about it taking all 11. I thought Matthew's management of getting us in and out of some of the right looks was key and critical, but it was truly the epitome of it takes all 11 to be able to run the football efficiently, and that was on display. I love those guys.
It was really unique to have that dramatic of a run differential between the first half and the second half. Was it the flow of the second half? Or
Yeah, it was snaps. I mean, we didn't have a third down conversion in the first half either. So you're talking about when you get to third downs, and we didn't have a whole lot of third downs in the second half because we were able to be so efficient on those early downs. And so I think the first thing is you got to give credit to, Jonathan Gannon and Nick Rallis. They did some things that, I didn't have us in good positions early on. And so I give them a ton of credit. I thought once our guys were able to settle down, be able to adjust, but it's all about if you're not converting on those third downs, you're going to have minimal opportunities. That was what was reflected, but however you cut it, it's an excuse, and I got to do a better job right from the jump for our guys and put them in some better spots.
You guys scored points off of takeaways today, as opposed to maybe in previous weeks. First of all, can you talk us through those takeaways by your defense, and also getting the points on the other side?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of already mentioned the Rose Boom one, and then, to be able to get that forced fumble and to be able to fall on it, I thought we were able to affect and influence, Dobbs all day. I thought the rush did a good job. We rushed with integrity. I thought we really played 11 as one on defense, Jordan, and to be able to get a couple of those turnovers. The Rose Boom one was critical. Ended up, I believe the second one, we ended up just having to settle for a field goal, but that ended up making it more than a one-possession game, which was big. And I'm really proud of our guys, and those were huge plays. I thought it was a really good team win today that was on display.
Sean, Josh Dobbs has done some good stuff this season. How significant is it that you kept him out of the end zone?
I think it's big. Their offense has done a really good job. I got a ton of respect when you flip the tape on and you look at the way they've been able to efficiently move the football. They've mixed personnel groupings. They were one of the top teams in the league rushing-wise. Obviously, Connor wasn't, there today, and he's a great player. But I thought Dobbs' ability to just be able to read, recognize coverage, get his different playmakers the ball, and then whether it be some of the design runs or some of the different things where he can create off schedule, he did that in the first half. Thought we did a good job of being able to make some adjustments, keep him bottled up. But again, he's done a really nice job, and I've been really impressed with his body of work through 6 games. Okay, thanks guys.
Thanks, folks.